Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower. Modern Grower is your source for time and labor-saving farm tools, such as the Paper Pot Transplanter, Quick Click Seeder, and the Jang Direct Seeder. Turn laborsome tasks into free time with tools by Modern Grower. And I think there's some major mistakes people make with finances when it comes to starting any business of this scale. And one is you buy too much stuff too quickly. Too much spending on equipment, inventory, infrastructure, services, whatever, marketing. Because I think people miss the very basic equation of how long it takes to save $10,000 tax-free. Think about all the hours you'd have to work, everything you'd have to do over those hours to get $10,000 tax-free in the bank. For some people, that might be a month. For others, it might be 2 or 3 months. It's a long time. And you can spend that right away on stuff. And I think where I see people get into danger in these small businesses, and I've made some of these mistakes very early on, is you spend on stuff that you think will help, but it probably doesn't help as much as in reality as you think it will. So if I buy something for $10,000 and I'm a new business, $10,000 for most of us in this sphere, starting this type of business, that's a big spend. $100, $200, fairly minor. $10,000, that's a good check for a lot of people at this scale to write. You spend it, you're in theory in the hole that money. So if the business goes flat, doesn't work, your family needs money, like, hey, we got to pay rent. Really wish we had that 10 grand right now. That'd be handy. So if you're going to drop a big check like that, you really need that 10,000 to come back in some form of cash flow very quick. So you dig these deep financial holes by buying too much stuff. And when you dig the hole, you take away from a safety buffer. If things go wrong, if the business doesn't go as planned, if it's slower than expected, and you dial up pressure. And I've talked about this on Farm Startup with Alec. I think a lot of people don't handle financial pressure really well,
I
including
don't think anyone does.
Yeah. You feel like you're down to your last. If you're even thinking, okay, I only have this much in the bank, if that thought starts going across your head, or if you're checking your bank account daily, that's stressful. And then that trickles out into the rest of life and you don't make good decisions. So my caution to a lot of newer people is pump the brakes on buying stuff, pump the brakes on spending, get what you need right away and make sure you know why you need it. It's either it could, if you think you need consulting, I could justify that and say, maybe I spend $500 on a consultant and that saves me from spending $5,000 on something I didn't need. But if I want to spend, I don't know, $500 on a fancy salad spinner, when I could get by the first 2 years with a washing machine convert that I could make for less than $100, that $400 might matter for a lot of people. And it's not just that, it's that's $400 on one thing. And then you approach the next decision the same way and you start to aggregate potential savings. And that's a big buffer. And I think people underestimate savings buffers. And it's, wow, I've saved up $10,000 to start my own business. I would say that's amazing that you've done it. Try and start the business with 3,500, not all 10,
Mm.
and go
Keep a
from
buffer.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And interesting thoughts too. If we, so let's say you've done a season with us, Diego, and now you're like, during that season, I would expect you to be planning for your farm, and there might be some unknowns, but say you found a lease, or your mum's got 10 acres, whatever, but you look at the market stream, and as we work back, that builds your context to what does my farm look like? And it should look different than every other farm. What's relevant to you to start with? Because we can't just throw money at a landscape, and you've got, we're all in a similar scenario. When we started with single gang, tilther, greens harvester, wash and pack was operational, but it was open to the south, open to your north, open to the south. Like we could wash and spin salad. The process is still there, but as the business has grown, we've made the modifications. Our weak link at our starting point is we didn't have a walk-in chiller. That's a big expense. And we built the chiller. We found a second-hand one, and my father built it from scratch, cut every panel, made it to custom, and then put new running gear on it. So we did it cheaper, but cheaper takes longer. It's like the scales.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're trading
And
time
yeah,
for money.
and moving forward, our tool collection's very different. But go back, I would love to say, oh yeah, I started the farm with a 5-row Jang, I got a walk-in chiller day one. We didn't.
Yeah. It's if you look at the best tools, so let's not include junk. And I think every category of equipment, there's junk, right? There's stuff that's just, it's not made for industrial use. When you get, it's more for gardeners, right? They touch it a few times a year, right? That type of thing. So within that, you have used stuff, you have lower price stuff, and you have high end stuff that's premium. You might say, well, if I buy the best, absolute best thing, like a JP5, $500, it'll last me forever, but that's $2,500. You start with a JP1, then you're like, I'll spend $600 on it, but then maybe I'll grow it. I would argue, well, it's better to spend that 600, save the 1900, outgrow it. And if you outgrow it, great. That means your business is doing amazing. That $600 you initially spent on it is going to be less significant than the $1,900 will now. So scale up. Don't be afraid to buy something that's cheaper yet quality and does the task that you need it to now. And then later on, you move on. You sell it used, you donate it, whatever. Hello, growers. Protect your crops from harmful insects with Modern Growers Insectanet. This top-tier insect netting made by Modern Grower shields your plants from pests and harsh weather, boosting your yields without harmful sprays. Insectanet's unique design allows 90% of the light to pass through and is easy to use with low tunnel systems like our Quick Hoops. It's soft, elastic, and durable, perfect for field use to help ensure that your crops thrive. Say goodbye to pest damage and hello to healthier, market-ready produce. Invest in Insectanet and see the difference it makes. Get Insectanet at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below.